Well, folks, it's time again for No, I can't do this. I'm just gonna read one of the source books. So here we go. This is the Clan Ghost Bear chapter of the Invading Clans source book. I hope that if you enjoy this, you will purchase a copy for yourself and keep supporting Catalyst and everything BattleTech. And without further ado, Clan Ghost Bear. The white seems to stretch away forever. Only the distant mountains rising majestically into the blue skies interrupt the scenery. Though they seem close enough to reach in the journey of an hour or two, one could trek for many days without reaching their mist-shrouded foothills. These plains and mountains give a home to our namesake. The mighty Ghost Bear presides over Stranomecti's southernmost continent. To even catch a glimpse of the bear, you must travel the open expanse of snow for many days, always moving towards the mountains. It is when you feel ready to turn back to the comfort of your base camp, exhausted and defeated, that you will realize that you are not alone. A palpable presence makes the bile rise in your throat, so thick you nearly choke on it. Yet your eyes, your window to the real world, see nothing. Suddenly, you focus on movement. A white-cloaked lynx bounds across the tundra, its paws digging gaping wounds in the snow as it accelerates. As the cat passes through your field of vision, the ground directly in front of you erupts in a living cloud of snow that leaps after the running lynx. You stare, and you realize that the cloud of snow swirls around your namesake, the legendary Ghost Bear. Though you do not understand how this huge beast remained invisible, you cannot deny that only moments ago you saw no living thing. As the bear gives chase, snow sloughs off its back, revealing massively muscled flanks covered in pure white fur. The hapless lynx turns and twists in a vain attempt to throw its pursuer off the chase, but the hunter will not be denied. You stare, transfixed by the spectacle. The bear lunges through the heavy layers of snow as easily as a fish swimming through water. Its howl assaults your ears, terrifying and hauntingly sweet all at once. The bear's deadly claws glint in the morning light as its paw, large as your head, smashes into the frantic cat at blinding speed. Crimson stains the pristine white carpet, and the lynx goes down, surrounded by a cloud of steam. The giant beast moves in for the feast, and still you stand and stare. The Ghost Bear remains unaware of your presence, and you watch it gulp down huge mouthfuls of raw meat. The battle took only a few scant seconds, yet every detail burns with a distinct light in your mind. You pray that you are as efficient when it falls to you to be the hunter. From the ritual words spoken by Clan Ghost Bear Loremaster on the eve of the clawing ritual. Children of the bear, hearken to my words. Be always vigilant. Learn for yourselves that which your forebearers imparted so easily and freely. Demand of yourselves the foresight of Jorgensen and the courage of Tseng. Through them we are strong. To them a debt is owed, repaid through loyalty undying. Repaid through loyalty undying and character unflinching. From the Oath of Acceptance, Clan Ghost Bear. The Ghost Bear of Stranomecti is a truly awesome beast. Though similar in appearance to the polar bear of Terra's Arctic region, the Ghost Bear is larger and stronger, some specimens having been recorded as standing more than 5 meters tall when reared up on their hind legs. Unlike the polar bear's fur, which shows a yellowish cast, the Ghost Bear's coat is pure white. Even the ghost bear's eyes and nose are a pale gray that appears nearly white, and its coloration makes the bear practically invisible against snow, even when running at full speed. Its size limits the ghost bear's ability to pursue its prey for any length of time, and so, rather than running down its quarry, the bear lies in wait on the fringes of its prey's territory, using its keen sense of smell to locate likely hunting spots. The ghost bear then buries itself in the snow to enhance its camouflage, remaining completely motionless, often for days at a time. The bear apparently enters a state of semi-hibernation while awaiting a potential meal, conserving energy but remaining acutely aware of its surroundings all the while. The ghost bear takes its name from both its coloration and from its apparent ability to materialize from nothing. Nicholas Kerensky chose this seemingly brutish animal as the namesake for one of his clans for more than its physical prowess. He also admired the loyalty it showed to its family. Ghost bears mate for life, and maintain a tenuous connection to their offspring, a trait almost unknown in the animal kingdom. Nicholas also believed that the ghost bear represented a strong respect for tradition. He characterized ghost bears as clinging stubbornly to their instincts, only reluctantly changing their habits and behaviors to adapt to environmental and situational changes. The ghost bear survives its apparent lack of adaptability with an extremely hardy constitution and a high birth rate. Like its namesake, Clan Ghost Bear has also survived, often in spite of itself, by virtue of its methodical persistence and the success of the clan breeding program. The traditions of strength and stability on which Clan Ghost Bear prides itself can be traced back to its founders, the only married couple to help establish a clan. The founders of Clan Ghost Bear receive equal reverence from its warriors, so much so that most believe that neither Sandra Tsang or Hans Jorgensen could have forged the clan alone. Time of decision. The general's intent was clearly stated: to depart and never return. He forced none, but swayed many. This compassionate, brilliant man had led thousands to victory, and he would again lead the long march. The Remembrance, Clan Ghost Bear, Passage 8, Verse 6, lines 12 through 17. General Alexander Kerensky defeated Stefan Amaris's troops on Terra in 2779, thereby ending nearly a decade of tyranny by the usurper of the Star League. Another 4 years passed before he finally accepted the ideological death of the Star League in the Inner Sphere and decided to do something about it. No longer willing to live in a, quote, civilization that spurns the ideals it once professed to hold so dear, unquote, General Kerensky proposed to the loyal soldiers of the Star League Defense Force that the only way to preserve the Star League and honor those who died in its service was for the people in whose hearts and souls the spirit of that noble body resided to leave the Inner Sphere and reject the cruel age upon which it seemed intent to embark. The general's orders for Operation Exodus stated that any who wished to join this brave venture would be accepted at any time until November 5th, 2784, 1 day prior to the scheduled jump. Under any other circumstances, the architects of Clan Ghost Bear would have remained on New Samarkand and died as loyal citizens of the Inner Sphere. Sandra Tsang and Hans Ole Jorgensen were kindred spirits united by circumstance. Born in the same year that Richard Cameron came of age and took the reins of the Star League from his regent, General Alexander Kerensky, both grew up dreaming of becoming warriors in the SLDF. They trained hard to complete their mech warrior training, she in Liao space and he in Kurita. Newly graduated and untried in combat, Tsang and Jorgensen joined the steady trickle of troops who, against the orders of their government, continued to travel to General Kerensky's current theater of operations. They were blooded in the battle to retake Terra, Jorgensen in Europe and Tsang in North America, and met at a celebration held to honor the dead and welcome the liberators. They fell madly in love. Married a short time later, Tseng and Jorgensen continued to serve in the SLDF, but were forced to question the strength of their loyalty to their leader when Kerensky announced the exodus of his troops. Though the couple agreed that the deteriorating situation in the inner sphere appeared unlikely to improve, and that the only sure way to preserve the Star League was to remove its heart and transplant it to an uncorrupted realm, they doubted Kerensky's ability to oversee a peaceful effort such as the Exodus. In addition, both had families in the inner sphere that they felt reluctant to leave behind, no matter how noble the cause. They decided to stay behind and defend whatever remained of the Star League. Stationed on New Samarkand at the time of the Exodus, Sandra and Hans did their part in the preparations for the departure. As the ships hung at the jump points waiting for the go order, a steady stream of SLDF soldiers visited the planet on their final shore leave, and many single and married soldiers tried to convince the couple to join the Exodus. Though these conversations must have eroded their confidence in their decision to stay, neither would admit to having second thoughts. On the day before the fleet made its historic jump, General Kerensky spoke to his assembled forces, both the soldiers on the ground and in space, those joining the Exodus and those remaining behind. Hans and Sandra listened to the general's impassioned words with rapt attention. Though the words were familiar, only when they came directly from the general's mouth did they convey the hopes and dreams of a true visionary. Ghost Bear legend claims that the moment the general finished his speech, the couple looked into each other's eyes, and each saw the other's desire to join the Exodus. They never said the words, but immediately made arrangements to join the great adventure, boarding the warship Prince Eugen that same evening. Lore masters from other clans who wished to cast aspersions on the couple will claim that the couple initially declined to join the Exodus simply to avoid making a difficult decision. Clan Ghost Bear lore masters willingly accept this theory, but say that it simply proves their clan's founders understood the true gravity of the commitment General Kerensky was asking them to make. Exodus unrest. The uncertainty and inconvenience of the months-long journey coreward eventually became too much for some people to bear. Few ships in the Exodus fleet were designed to carry passengers, and most were overcrowded. The Prinz Eugen crammed hundreds of people into makeshift barracks in the vessel's cavernous cargo holds, and the freedom for which so many lives had been sacrificed seemed a pipe dream on the warship's crowded decks. Though the decision to return to the inner sphere and make the best of a bad situation arose from more than a desperate desire for privacy, that alone might have been reason enough. While it was the ship's officers who led the rebellion, they had the silent support of a majority of their passengers. These people willingly abandoned the familiar for the promised land, only to find themselves trapped in space and denied the right to change their minds. General Kerensky's unwavering refusal to respond to numerous petitions asking him to reconsider his scheme, and his inability or unwillingness to even hint at a destination or even a timetable seemed to leave the travelers on the Eugen little choice. The passengers aboard the Eugen, who argued against the mutiny, Tseng and Jorgensen among them, represented a vocal minority. Their pleas for the mutineers to trust Kerensky long enough for the general to answer their questions fell on deaf ears, and the general was forced to take swift action in order to save his dream. The general's decision to purge the officers of the Eugen shocked the entire fleet, and though General Order 137 laid to rest some of the resentment that began to build as a result of Kerensky's brutal actions, it seemed clear that the Eugen incident represented the beginning of the end for unity among the Exodus fleet. Second Exodus. Tseng and Jorgensen settled on Babylon when the Exodus fleet arrived at the Pentagon world. By the time General Kerensky implemented his plan to decommission 75% of the military, Sandra was 3 months pregnant. Blessed with quick intelligence, broad-based aptitudes, and an eagerness to help wherever they were needed, Sandra and Hans adapted easily to life in the private sector when they tested out of the SLDF ranks. Both soldiers accepted Kerensky's plan as a solid first step on the road to lasting peace. Though still only cautiously optimistic about their brilliant military leader's ultimate plan for maintaining a productive and tranquil society, the couple worked hard and managed to live in contentment for more than 10 years as they raised their son and contributed their skills to various industries on Babylon. Records also show that both former soldiers trained regularly in the simulators to maintain their fighting skills. Soon after a dissatisfied ex-soldier on Eden began violently agitating for a return to military service, Kerensky's society also began to show cracks along cultural lines. People of different backgrounds had settled near each other, and the old political divisions offered a convenient way to decide between friend and enemy. Few people believed that the violence would spread to the remaining Pentagon worlds. Like many others, Zhang and Jorgensen went about their daily routines, trusting the general to lead them through this new test. Their confidence in Kerensky's peacetime leadership abilities was utterly destroyed when their son was killed by a stray bullet during a Lyran Combine riot in a Babylon marketplace. With the meaning savagely torn from their lives, Zhang and Jorgensen fell with grief. Grief inevitably gave way to anger, and sooner than expected, the pair petitioned Nicholas Kerensky to return to active service in his 146th Royal BattleTech Division. A cursory review of their records and a demonstration of their current level of skill on the mech simulators were all that Nicholas needed to draft them as mech warriors. When General Kerensky died while preparing a campaign plan to reunite the factions on Eden, the general populace responded by intensifying the violence, and the now leaderless military fell into complete disarray. With strong support in the fledgling colonies of the cluster, but none in the cities of the Pentagon worlds, Nicholas accepted the challenge of finding a way to preserve his father's dream and began to formulate his plan for a second exodus. He enlisted the services of Tsang and Jorgensen, whom he considered reassuringly level-headed, to help him reach those who might join him in his second attempt to preserve some vestige of the Star League. For 6 months, the couple traveled the Pentagon worlds in an effort to find followers to support their new leader. They soon discovered that the local military leaders enjoyed much stronger support than Nicholas, who was regarded as a poor successor to his poorly regarded father. Though both Alexander and Nicholas Kerensky eventually gained nearly godlike status among the clans, his disillusioned followers rejected Alexander in the years following his death for his failure to deliver his people to the Promised Land. Despite this widespread lack of interest in Nicholas's plan, Tsang and Jorgensen found a majority of the Pentagon world's scientists and laborers eager to accompany Nicholas into the scarcely populated Kerensky cluster. A new beginning. In order to conceive the plan of designing a completely new society, Nicholas must have recognized his father's mistake of failing to offer his followers a focus for their lives. Those who joined him in the second exodus understood that from the moment they stepped foot on Stranamekti as a people apart from the original Exodus fleet, their lives would be completely different. Nicholas intended to change everything about social relationships that caused division and chaos, and he needed the wholehearted support of every man, woman, and child. Sandra Tsang and Hans Jorgensen were two of his most ardent advocates, turning their persuasive skills and practical arguments to convincing people of the wisdom of Nicholas's way. His trusted and valuable aides therefore took it particularly hard when they learned their assigned roles in their leader's new society. They were to help shape 2 different clans. Nicholas soundly reasoned that it was better to evenly distribute one's prime assets in order to gain maximum benefit. And though Nicholas did not overestimate the couple's devotion to the clans, he seriously underestimated their devotion to one another. Long before he chose to formally declare mating nothing more than a means to achieve a more perfect society, Nicholas asked Tsang and Jorgensen to abandon the ideal of marriage for love and subsume it to the greater good of the future. In an eerie parallel to their deliberations concerning the original Exodus, Tseng and Jorgensen carefully weighed the circumstances, costs, and consequences, and regretfully chose to reject the new life they so fervently believed in order to remain together. Their decision made, the couple quietly packed survival kits and disappeared into Stratomectes' southernmost continent. Though none would have questioned Nicholas's decision to wash his hands of the pair and abandon them to their fate, apparently Nicholas's wife, Jennifer Winson, rightly pointed out that, regardless of the circumstances, Nicholas would never have considered separating himself from his own wife. Wisely agreeing to his wife's logic, Nicholas quickly agreed to reassign the couple to the same clan, as soon as he could find them. Sandra Tseng and Hans Jorgensen fared badly against the brutal elements of the planet's Antarctic Circle. Their survival kits proved inadequate for long-term operations in the bitter weather, and mishaps claimed their remaining supplies before 3 weeks had passed. Frostbitten and afraid, the couple crawled into a cave along the slopes of the forbidding Minsk Range and comforted each other with the fact that, as they had wanted, they would die together. What happened next more properly belongs to legend than history. According to the couple's story, the cave they chose also served as shelter for a ghost bear. When that intimidating creature returned to its den and saw the intruders, it rose to its full height, gave a heart-stopping roar, then sat on its haunches and stared at Sandra Tseng and Hans Jorgensen as if waiting for a reply. Without hesitation, they struggled to their feet and together let out a blood-curdling war cry. As they clung to each other for support, the bear padded toward them on all fours, snuffling the air as he circled the humans. Overcome by fear and exhaustion, Tseng and Jorgensen collapsed, unconscious. When they next awoke, the first thought that struck them was that they felt warm for the first time since leaving the clan's settlement. The bear was sleeping curled around its human guests. As soon as the couple stirred, the bear woke up, stretched, and left the cave, returning moments later carrying a rabbit in its mouth. The huge beast laid the freshly killed rabbit on the floor of the cave, placed one immense paw on its prey's head, and bit its meal neatly in half. The bear gulped down the rabbit's hindquarters, then moved back to the mouth of the cave, sat on its haunches, and stared at the humans. Sandra and Hans shared that meal, and the next 3 the bear provided, slowly regaining their strength. Though they believed at first that they were hallucinating, it seemed that whenever they stumbled from the cave to drink or eliminate, they saw their bear, each time a different size, and marked differently by scars and other marks. On the 3rd morning with the bear, the animal sat at the mouth of the cave staring out. When Tseng and Jorgensen looked to see what was holding its interest, they found 5 ghost bears of varying ages and sizes. Some were wrestling, some were standing nose to nose, and one was just arriving carrying a steaming rabbit in its mouth, which it laid at the mouth of the cave. With this incident, Tseng and Jorgensen became the first witnesses to the ghost bear's lifelong attachment to its mate and offspring. Though others had made detailed accounts of the bear's hunting style and other habits, no one had discovered this unusual trait. Just as inspiration had struck the pair when they listened to General Kerensky's message for the Exodus, they now felt inspired to return to Nicholas with this remarkable evidence of the importance of family and a fight for the right to serve the clans as a team. On their long trek back to civilization, Tseng and Jorgensen encountered another facet of ghost bear behavior that they later incorporated into their clan's rituals. Their journey took them across the border between 2 ghost bears' territories, and as they watched an adolescent bear move across the landscape one afternoon, a second bear of similar age rose up from where it was hidden in the snow and attacked the first. The couple found the brutal beauty of this deadly territorial dispute fascinating, and they shared a vow to honor the ghost bear by testing themselves against one as soon as they recovered from their ordeal. They met the search party Nicholas had sent out when they were nearly halfway home, and the renegade couple immediately announced their intention to return and challenge Nicholas's decision. When the leader of the search party replied with Nicholas's apology and an invitation to return and help him avoid similar mistakes in the future, the couple collapsed again. this time from joy and relief. Inception of the Bear. The kinship of spirits is vital. Without this connection there can be no true understanding. From the Oath of Acceptance, Clan Ghost Bear. WolfNet Archive File 44463-CR702/14/03. From the First Ghost Bear Lore Master's Notes concerning the Clawing Ritual. Few clan rituals are as bloody or as dangerous as the Ghost Bear clawing. The clawing represents a rite of passage into the upper echelons of the Ghost Bear command structure, and so every Ghost Bear clan and most Galaxy commanders have performed the clawing. Ghost Bear warriors traditionally spend a month, the length of Tseng and Jorgensen's exile from the clans, performing a complex series of focusing rituals and training exercises before attempting the clawing. Only the highest-ranking unclawed warrior of each cluster is offered the chance to participate in this yearly ritual. On Stranomectes' winter solstice, the ritual party lands its vessel in the planet's Antarctic Circle. The lore master of the clan assigns the candidates of each galaxy to hunting parties. Each hunter is equipped with an ornately decorated spear, a primitive but efficient cold-weather outfit that resembles the traditional dress of the Inuit of Terra, and a survival kit equivalent to those carried by Tseng and Jorgensen on their flight. Each party is also assigned a pair of specially trained dogs. The lore master of the clan begins the ritual by charging each hunting party with its task: to kill a ghost bear and return to the base camp with its carcass as proof. The ritual party remains at the base camp for 1 month, then abandons for dead any warriors who have not returned. While outsiders may interpret this as a contradiction of the Ghost Bear's principle of brotherly love, we consider it a testament to our respect for tradition and the high demands we make of our leaders. Many warriors die in their attempt to complete the clawing. Some die from exposure or starvation, but most die at the claws of their honored prey. The average survival rate is less than 40%, and most survivors return empty-handed. Surviving the ritual but failing to complete it brings only disappointment, not dishonor, because most unsuccessful hunting parties simply failed to find a ghost bear. The role of this ritual in selecting the Ghost Bear High Command places an unusually high number of elementals within the ranks of Archons, Galaxy Commanders, and Star Colonels. Aerospace pilots, though well respected in Clan Ghost Bear, rarely achieve a higher rank than Star Captain. Nicholas visited Tseng and Jorgensen as soon as the doctors declared the pair fit to resume their normal activities. The story of how they survived their exile had spread quickly upon their return, and Nicholas solemnly announced that he intended to assign Tseng and Jorgensen to Clan Ghost Bear. He went on to suggest that they consider working toward a leadership position that he intended to create for each clan. First, though, they needed to test for a position in the clan's new reorganized military. In one of the briefest, most one-sided combat trials on record, Hans and Sandra laid waste to their opponents in an amazing display of teamwork and skill. In a matter of minutes, all 6 opposing mechs were destroyed or disabled. When the smoke cleared, Tseng and Jorgensen were well on their way to becoming the leaders of Clan Ghost Bear. Their adventure with the Ghost Bears gave the couple a certain cachet among other warriors of their clan, who looked to them for guidance on how to best exemplify the finest traits of the clan's namesake. With Nicholas's permission to mold the clan in any way they saw fit, as long as they honored the clan way, Tseng and Jorgensen began by forging strong bonds of friendship and loyalty between the Ghost Bear warriors. Those early years also laid the groundwork for many of the clan's unique practices and rituals. In an effort to make every warrior equally strong and effective in order to create an efficient, deadly fighting force, Tseng and Jorgensen encouraged the Ghost Bear warriors to participate in individual and group confidence-building exercises that they developed from the SLDF training exercises. In order to foster a strong sense of belonging, and with it, unparalleled loyalty, Clan Ghost Bear allowed every warrior, blood-named or not, to vote on any issue that concerned the clan as a whole. While Clan Diamond Shark also practiced an expanded voting policy, Ghost Bear warriors retained the right to vote for their lower castes. On the first anniversary of their initial encounter with the Ghost Bear, Tsang and Jorgensen led a hunting party into Stranomectes' Antarctic wilderness in the earliest version of what would become the clawing ritual. By the time Nicholas Kerensky declared himself Ilkhan and established 2 Khans as the leaders of each clan, the Ghost Bear warriors were so accustomed to following Sandra Tsang and Han Jorgensen's lead that they unanimously elected the pair as their Khans. The clan had smoothly incorporated its unique style into Nicholas's tenets for his society, and the 40-plus Ghost Bear warriors enjoyed a closer relationship than any other clan could comprehend. Rumors that every member of the clan enjoyed intimate relations with every other became rampant. When Ilkhan Kerensky traveled to the Ghost Bear Enclave to confront the Khans with these tales, he discovered a clan wholly at one with itself. He found a situation reminiscent of the closely knit extended families common in pre-industrial societies, and every member of the clan offered Nicholas the respect due to the patriarch of such a family. Khan Jorgensen explained to Nicholas his theory that mutual respect produced superior loyalty, and the Ilkhan accepted it as obviously valid. Return to the Pentagon. The Ghost Bears shared the task of retaking the Pentagon world Arcadia with clans Blood Spirit, Star Adder, and Steel Viper. When it took the Bears a week longer than any other clan to capture their objectives, the other Khans publicly doubted the clan's methods and philosophy. Nicholas dismissed these concerns by pointing out that the Ghost Bear Khans themselves were well known for solving problems by making a thorough and considered examination of every situation. To their credit, they achieved the lowest fatality rate of the clans who attacked Arcadia, and swelled their ranks with bondsmen. During the fighting on Arcadia, the Bear Khans proved their personal valor and loyalty to their fellow warriors. Khan Tsang made a heroic effort to command her troops from the front lines of battle, often placing her mech in the way of shots meant for her soldiers. Both skill and luck protected her from serious or permanent damage in these selfless acts of bravery, and Ghost Bear lore masters continue to recount her actions as the ideal toward which all clan warriors and Khans should aspire. Khan Jorgensen's greatest contribution to the Ghost Bear fighting forces was his creation of a completely open command structure that offered each warrior almost complete autonomy. In any other military unit, such a tactic would lead to disaster, but the Ghost Bear warriors were so intimately familiar with one another as soldiers and as friends that this structure encouraged them to reach unexpected heights of brilliance. When the campaign to subdue the Pentagon worlds ended, Nicholas put the finishing touches on clan society. He announced that the 5 Pentagon worlds were to be divided into clan-ruled spheres of control, known as enclaves. The Bears redeveloped large parts of Arcadia as their enclave, setting the population to work rebuilding Arcadia's once glittering cities. Golden Century. Khan Sandra Tsang died in 2848 defending her genetic legacy against Khan Franklin Osis of Smoke Jaguar. Though the Bears carried the day, they all felt the loss of their beloved Khan as a serious blow, particularly Hans Jorgensen. Toramano Tsang assumed the Khanship in Sandra's place, and Khan Hans Jorgensen retired from his position soon after. Jorgensen died peacefully in his sleep some 10 years later. Beginning long before Sandra Tsang's death, the warriors of Clan Ghost Bear developed a unique ceremony to honor their dead. The original 40 warriors combined elements of all their religions into a short ritual that satisfied each member's needs for honoring those who passed on before them. Over the years, the funeral ceremony transformed to accommodate changes in clan ways and society, but the simple service held to honor Sandra Tsang became Clan Ghost Bear's standard ritual to mark the passing of a Khan. The clan also allowed the funeral of multiple warriors killed in action to evolve into something more elaborate, and always longer than the service held to mark a single warrior's death, because such a ritual must comfort a larger number of mourners. WolfNet Archive File 76765-LG9-10/27/23. It is a sad fact of life that, over the years, Many clans have found real or imagined reasons to hate one another. This account is paraphrased from the Clan Ghostbear version of the Remembrance. The origins of the long-standing feud between clans Ghostbear and Wolf lie within a matter that, on the surface, did not even concern Clan Ghostbear: the annihilation of Clan Wolverine. Immediately following the Council's unanimous vote to destroy Clan Wolverine in a trial of annihilation, the Renegade clan divided into several independent units, each attempting to simultaneously stock up on supplies and avoid pursuers. Most of these units saw escape to the Inner Sphere as their only chance for survival. Though Khan Sang bid well and cleverly for the right to destroy Clan Wolverine, that honor went to Clans Wolf and Widowmaker. One of the small Clan Wolverine units fled to a moon in the Arcadia system, where a Ghostbear patrol watched the Renegades liberate some supplies from a hidden stockpile and leave the planet. The Ghostbear failure to raise the alarm became public knowledge through the deathbed statement of Star Captain Amon, who commanded the Ghostbear patrol. Even years after the fact, Amon spoke of the incident in a tone of deep indignation when he stated that hunting the not-named clan was an honor denied us. Had the wolves been truly determined to stop them, they would have. That they failed in their task was not of concern to me or my men. Enraged by the Ghostbear warriors' righteous attitude and shamed by even the questionable evidence that they failed to complete such an important task, Clan Wolf immediately launched a series of punitive raids against Ghostbear worlds. Bear and Wolf units grappled for several days, with no clear winner, until Khan Sandra Tsang cleverly diffused the situation by pointing to the not-named clan as the Wolves' true enemy. Rather than venting their anger against a perceived slight, Khan Tsang asked the Grand Council, should not Clan Wolf concentrate on finishing the job by hunting down the Renegades? The matter was put to a vote, and defeated by a narrow margin when cooler heads pointed out the difficulty of tracking the Renegades through so many years of space travel. Both the events of the Trial of Annihilation and the long-delayed revelation that the effort failed left a bitter taste in the mouths of Wolf and Ghostbear warriors. Those Ghostbears inclined to hold grudges viewed Wolves as haughty, unreliable, and unforgiving. Many Wolf warriors considered the Ghostbears to be unclan-like slackers with little regard for honor or authority. Though these specific characterizations faded with time, both clans find new slights often enough to feed the simmering hatred between them. WolfNet Archive File 93215-TJ3-12/8/60. From the notes for the book Becoming a Khan, The Legend Factor, censured by the Grand Council as frivolous and lacking respect for Nicholas Kerensky. The original Khans of Clan Ghostbear were remarkable for more than their status as the only married couple to found a clan. The bonds of love and loyalty they forged between all members of their clan surpassed ordinary camaraderie, and made them, in every important way, a real family. Sandra Tsang and Hans Jorgensen were the parents of that family. They taught cooperation and communication by both deeds and words, and those words and actions earned them the status of legendary heroes. Clan Ghostbear pays its founders such deep respect that, by unspoken consent, its clan council always fills an open khanship by electing the most eligible Tsang or Jorgensen. Only rarely has the clan been forced to elect a leader from another genetic legacy, and then only recently. The clan seems always to prosper under Tsang Jorgensen guidance, and this nearly faultless record lends further credence to the founders' mystique. Nadia Wilson, one of those other Khans, was captured as a bondsman from Clan Wolf mere days after she earned her blood name. Winson, a cagey warrior and staunch crusader, quickly regained her warrior status and rose through the ranks, eventually assuming leadership of Clan Ghostbear during one of those rare periods when no candidates named Tsang or Jorgensen were eligible. Ironically, it was Wilson, not a namesake of the founders, who attempted to force the issue of invasion in the Grand Council in 3000. When both Ghostbear Khans died during the Clan Wolf's trial of refusal, protesting the 3048 vote to invade the Inner Sphere, the Ghostbear Clan Council made an uncharacteristically impulsive vote for change. They elected as their new Khans Karl Borjon and Teresa del Villar. Korinitsang filled Khan Jorgensen's position, and Frederick Jorgensen assumed the position of Loremaster, thus ensuring the continued prominence of the Tsang and Jorgensen bloodlines. The death of Nicholas Kerensky during the 2834 trial of absorption, won by Clan Wolf against Widowmaker, did not destroy Kerensky's new society. Editor's note: Comstar document number BLP-216-TTC incorrectly identified this date as 2825. In fact, his death prompted a century of unparalleled technological and economic growth. Clan Ghost Bear entered the Golden Century with its usual deliberate stride, devoting substantial attention and energy to furthering its traditions and maintaining a true sense of family. So successful were they at achieving those goals that members of the clan eventually became uncomfortable dealing with people outside the family. Their inability to trust others' instincts and advice made them slow to accept ideas and technology developed outside their clan. But the Ghost Bear's solidarity allowed them to strengthen their political position and create new ways and new technology on their own. The liberal voting policy instituted by Hans Jorgensen also allowed Ghost Bear leaders to take a wait-and-see position on political and military issues. Though the clan's detractors label this habit as a reluctance to try anything new, those more familiar with the inner workings of the clan understand that the Ghost Bear way lies on the path of intellectual deliberation and prudent action. While this attitude sometimes holds the clans back when compared to other clans, few other clans match Ghost Bear's thoroughness in exploring the implications and repercussions of all their endeavors. Clan Ghost Bear's approach to accepting innovation had both a negative and positive economic impact. When Clan Coyote introduced the Omnimech in 2854, the Ghost Bear leadership proved reluctant to simply adopt this major new piece of hardware without thoroughly analyzing its performance and its potential impact on established military doctrine. Many technicians who examined the Omnimech design applauded its basic concept, but pointed out several minor design flaws such as poor cockpit design, serious stresses placed on certain myomer bundles, and weak connections in the ammunition feed link between the modular pods. The Ghost Bear technicians suspected that these problems might indicate larger faults in the prototypes that could prove dangerous. While Clan Ghost Bear debated the merits and flaws of the Omnimech, other clans chose to bring them into active duty. The Bears would be the last clan to adopt the Omnimech, and that delay cost them several key cities and legacies, lost to Omnimech-equipped clans. Their traditions did not prevent Clan Ghost Bear from achieving several important discoveries. Ghost Bear was the first clan to profit by mining rare raw materials from the asteroid belts common to many Kerensky cluster systems. While other clans worked for their profit by mining on the planets proper, Clan Ghost Bear developed unmatched techniques to efficiently strip mine asteroids. They also devoted their scientific capabilities to new methods of purifying water and are credited with producing the first strain of Shipley wheat, a strain so resistant and hardy that it can grow in any soil and climate, including the mineral-poor ground of Stranomectes' icy southern continent. Kilborn Jorgensen rose to the position of Khan during the Golden Century, an event marked only because Kilborn was one of the first elementals chosen for the post. A man of remarkable grace and tender sensibilities, he improved the general perception of elementals, who until that time were considered by many to be second-rate compared to mech warriors. Warriors of all clans speak of Kilborn with great respect to this day. This concludes Part 1 of the history of Clan Ghost Bear. We will continue with Part 2, Operation Revival.